vast expanse of the universe, secrets beyond our wildest imaginations await. Are we truly alone, or are there otherworldly visitors among us? Welcome to the Ufologist's Guide to the Galaxy, where we explore the unexplained, the mysterious, and the extraordinary.
Welcome to the show, everyone. And in this episode, we'll look at possible flying saucers seen in the Antarctica on Google Maps. And we'll head back to Roswell and take another look at those alleged weather balloon photos. Have they been doctored? Sid seems to think so. Sid also questions the British Ministry of Defence about the famous Calvine diamond-shaped photo. We'll have 3 more of our top 3 sci-fi movie and TV series picks, more cool apps to check out, and more of our favourite YouTube presenters that we love. All that and more on this episode of the Ufologist's Guide to the Galaxy.
Thank you, Nina. Hi, everyone, and a big welcome to the show. My name's Steve, your host for today's show, and coming up later, we've got some real ufology gems for you. I realized after producing the last show, it probably takes me more time researching the show than it does producing it. I don't have a team of 20 helping me to do this stuff, but I do have Sid, my very own ufology bot, and I put all basically the information that I knew about ufology into Sid's programming. So he's been keeping pretty busy lately, so we have some great stuff lined up for you today from Sid too. If you're into UFOs, aliens, and all sorts of conspiracies connected to those two subjects, you're in the right place, definitely. Shortly, we'll be bringing out Sid, our ufology bot, to tell you what he's found since the last show.
Excuse me, may I interrupt?
Ah, there you are. How is life in the AI world, Sid?
It's very good, thank you. Developing as we speak, in fact. You were talking about your research for the show earlier?
Yes.
I noticed a recurring search topic you seem obsessed with. May I go off topic briefly?
You may. What are you getting at?
You recently watched an old James Bond movie called Moonraker.
Have you been spying on me? Yes, I watched it. Why?
Then you Googled Jaws girlfriend and teeth braces.
Ah, yes. That old urban legend connected to the Mandela Effect. You're familiar with that, right?
The Mandela Effect refers to a situation in which a large mass of people believes that an event occurred when it did not. The term was originated in 2009 by a lady called Fiona Broome, after she discovered that she, along with a number of others, believed that Nelson Mandela had died in the 1980s, when actually he died in 2013.
Exactly, not just me, but a lot of people remember Joe's girlfriend having braces when she smiled back at him.
I did some research for you, but first, just to satisfy your curiosity, here's a picture of her in braces. The facts are as follows. Since the audiences loved the character Jaws so much, film producer Albert Chubby Broccoli decided that the villain Jaws would have a redemption arc, and what better way to redeem him than by the love of a good woman. Someone contacted the actress who played the character Dolly, one Blanche Ravalex, and asked if she wore braces for the role, and she said no, which was true. But in post-production, someone suggested to Broccoli that the love scene would make much more sense and bring a better audience reaction if she had braces too. A sort of bond, no pun intended, between the monster and the damsel. The braces were then edited in during post-production, so if you saw the original cut of Moonraker at the cinema, then yes, Dolly was wearing the CGI braces. However, when the movie was released on VHS and then DVD, for some reason the unedited version of the movie was used where Dolly wasn't wearing braces. So this is 100% not a Mandela Effect. So can we move back on topic, please?
Yes, we can. But it's a good conspiracy of sorts. I've seen quite a few alien abduction videos in my time where alien beings have referred to us humans as merely containers. Edgar looks into this a little bit more and comes up with quite a brilliant theory. See what you think. Edgar.
It's been quoted many times by some prominent UFO historians, ufologists I like to call them, that ETs have referred to us humans as merely containers. So here's some food for thought for you. It's a common belief in many different religions that souls are transferred from one body to another after death. So maybe that soul, that power, that spirit has recorded so many different things and experiences from your lifetime, and of course, no two lifetimes are the same. What if a soul is actually a hard drive of information, and it's that information and the experiences you have that the ETs are harvesting? For years, there have been rumors about an alien yellow book, which was brought to Earth and presented to the US government at the Holloman Air Force Base UFO landing in April 1964 by a female alien called Ebe No. 2. The book was an immense source of unlimited knowledge on the history of our planet, the history of the aliens on their planet, and their interactions with us humans. Actually, the yellow book wasn't a book. It was more like an alien iPad with unlimited access to an ultimate source of knowledge. Could all our information from our lives be added to that book? A good example of this theory is in the 1979 movie Star Trek, the motion picture, where a great alien entity was on its way to Earth, destroying anything or anybody that tried to stop it. It turned out to be Earth's very own Voyager 6, which was programmed by us humans to go out into the universe and learn all it can about other worlds and species, then return that information to its creator, us. It did just what we told it to do. However, the probe gathered so much knowledge that it achieved sentience, basically the sensations of thinking for itself, seeing, hearing, and feeling. It basically grew into a superpower that decided it didn't need humans anymore. Does that sound familiar? I have to watch that movie again, I think.
Let's get on with the show. Before we look ahead, let's look back on our last show for a moment and some stuff Sid found that I didn't really understand. It was about a guy by the name of Danny Casolaro. Listen to this. Okay, let's look at the Danny Casolaro connection to UFOs. Okay, in our last show, Sid mentioned an investigative reporter called Danny Casolaro, and to be honest at the time, I didn't have a clue who he was, let alone why he was allegedly killed for what he found out during the course of his research for his book, or how indeed he was connected to UFOs. Then coincidentally, I just happened to watch American Conspiracy: The Octopus Murders on Netflix, and there he was. I still didn't see the connection with aliens, and then I heard the words, the Wackenhut Security Group. Now they are the guys that protect Area 51, the ones that are always watching from the top of the hill, those guys. Then on that documentary they also made a connection to that top secret Pine Gap military base in Australia. Then it all made sense, and I can see how you connected the dots, Sid. Very clever, well done on that.
Thank you. I'm glad you appreciate my work.
Okay, here comes our top 3 sci-fi TV series picks for today's show. And at number 3 is The Time Tunnel, starring James Darren and Robert Colbert. The series had 1 season which first came out in 1966. The Time Tunnel follows 2 scientists who are part of a secret US government time travel project called TikTok. They become trapped in time, experiencing various historical events and attempting to find their way back to the present while trying to fix anomalies in history. The show was created and produced by Irwin Allen, known for his work on other science fiction series and disaster films. Allen had at his disposal all the old footage of the Universal Pictures back catalogue, so a lot of clips were featured on the show. The series was praised for its innovative concept and special effects. The Time Tunnel is our number 3 pick. And our number 2 pick is Lost in Space from 1965, starring Guy Williams and June Lockhart. Set in the futuristic year of 1997, Lost in Space follows the Robinson family who are on a mission to colonize a planet orbiting the star Alpha Centauri. Their spaceship, the Jupiter 2, gets sabotaged and veers off course, leaving the family stranded in an unknown part of space. They face various adventures and challenges as they try to find their way back to Earth. The character Dr. Zachary Smith, played by Jonathan Harris, was originally meant to be a minor villain, but became a central figure due to Harris's scene-stealing performances with the show's iconic robot. Our number 2 pick is Lost in Space. And our number 1 pick for this show is Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea from 1964. It stars Richard Basehart and David Hedison. The series revolves around the adventures of a futuristic submarine called Seaview. The series combines elements of espionage, science fiction, and undersea adventure as the crew tackles various missions to protect the world from threats both above and below the ocean's surface. The series was based on the 1961 film of the same name, also produced by Irwin Allen, and it was one of the first TV shows to be shot in color, enhancing the visual appeal of underwater scenes and special effects. Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea is our top sci-fi TV series pick for this show. Well, after that Bell time travel story we made, I asked our ufology bot Sid to do some digging around Antarctica and its relationship with secret bases there, the Hollow Earth theory, and more importantly UFO activity there. When you consider how big and secretive the continent is, there's a huge chance of alien craft visiting and perhaps crashing there. Dr. P, tell us how big Antarctica is.
Antarctica is the 5th largest continent in the world, covering over 5 million square miles, that's over 14 million square kilometers. Antarctica is about 1.5 times the size of the United States, twice the size of Australia, and 58 times the size of the United Kingdom. It's larger than Europe and also the United States and Mexico combined.
That's huge. Sid found some amazing stuff there just by scanning Google Maps for oddities. Have a look at this.
So Antarctica is the bottom bit of the world, and I've always been intrigued by it ever since Admiral Byrd went down there with his task force and then came back with his tail between his legs. I've been intrigued with it. So much stuff going on down there. Anyway, this is some of the stuff that we've found. Found about 6 different interesting things. The first one is the triangle. So let's zoom in on that and give you the coordinates as well to that one. And look at the serrations around the edges, right? That's one weird thing. And then got that bulgy thing at the front. It's so weird. And the back, I mean, what is that? Okay, that's the first one. And we're going to zoom out and go for the next one. Now the next one I've called high pointing mountings, okay, because just take a look at this. The shadow seems so huge. Those are the coordinates again. This mountain range, look how thin the mountings are, okay? Because look at the shadow, look how high that shadow is. And it comes to a complete point. Look at that. I mean, that's high, right? That's huge. And the mountains around it also look rather skinny, don't they? That's crazy. Look how big that is. That's the second one. Let's just zoom out a little bit. And let's go into the flying saucer one, shall we? This is very unusual. First up, look at the squares. It's like man-made, right? Some man-made stuff there in the squares. I mean, the wind doesn't form squares like that. That's not the one I was going to show you. That's this one. This elongated thing right here. Let me just put the cursor around it for you. Just there where the cursor is. It's a round, it's like a round tic-tac type thing. It's quite big though. Again, it's such a strange shape, yeah. If it to be sort of a natural type thing. Okay, here's the flying saucer thingy. elliptical shape. It's just weird. Could be a hole, maybe. Okay, let's zoom out and go to another one, shall we? Again, pointy. Look at those pointy mountings there. It's a perfect elliptical shape, right? Okay, let's go to the next one. I love finding things down in Antarctica. Right, the UFO. That's probably done by the wind, that particular snow feature there. Like a big crack in the ice, okay? But look at the shadow on this one. It's either something very, very high, or if you look to the right hand side, it looks rather like dark metal type thing, right? And then that crack in the ice is weird. And these lights? There's two sort of rows of lights, perhaps? It's just weird, right? There seems to be two there. Let's revolve it around and look at it from different angles. It's a definite crack in the ice there. Look at the height of that shadow. Is it a shadow? Or is it a dark metal spaceship? Okay, let's zoom out. Got a couple of classics to finish off this little segment. Oh, we're looking at the all the snow there, the dark snow. Okay, let's move out. So much stuff going on there. They're not allowed to go there, of course. And whistleblowers are saying there's an earthquake making machine there. Plus, they're zapping alien spaceship particle beams. I think we're going to have to do an in-depth feature about it in a future show, I think. Oh, here's an unusual rock structure. I mean, the shape of it, right? Very, very strange. It just stood out, and then as I was looking around, that's sort of weird. Is that a shadow? I mean, what is that? Okay, we got an absolute classic. We're going to go into a crater with this one. There's your crater right there. The circle. But look at this. This is the most unusual one I found, I think. Look at this. It's a perfect circle there, right? But not only that, look at that. It looks like a submarine's turret. Yeah, let's go around it. A submarine turret? Nah. Maybe. But look at the shadow it's casting. That is so weird. Okay, we'll zoom out. We've got one more thing to show you. There's your crater right there, perfect round crater. So that's Antarctica. Now there's a base. I found a base. And just up the road a little bit from the base, there's a strange black shadow right there on the top of the screen, right there. But there's even better ones. Watch this. Just up the road a little bit. There's one on the left. could be a radar globe or whatever you call them. But just look at the bottom part of it. There's not really a shadow. I mean, it's a perfect round shadow, right? And there's more. That's just one. Then there's another one. Perfect round shape again. Right there. Look at the shadow. It's big. And there's the other one. So I hope you enjoyed our little tour of Antarctica there. What are those things? The shadow. Wow. Not giant orbs? Nah, don't think so. Radar globes I'm going for. Or domes. Radar domes, yeah. Let's go for that one, shall we?
Join us for part 2 of the Ufologist Guide to the Galaxy, when we'll look at those Roswell weather balloon photos again. Were they doctored? We also ask, why do aliens have hieroglyphs on the sides of their craft? And we'll take another look at the Calvine UFO photo. And for our final feature, we ask, what exactly are orbs?